What's up, Internet? We are back with another episode of this bizarre N64 awesome multi-cart. Last time we played some bad fighting games, DDR on the N64, and Derby Stallion, but also Destruction Derby, which is actually quite good. Conquest of the Crystal Palace. That sounds familiar to me. I'll have to take a look at that. Anyway, this time we're going to play Dezaemon 3D. This is a game I'm quite interested in because the entire series is actually genuinely quite fascinating to think about. I've actually only ever played one game in the Dezaemon series, but this is effectively not a game. At least not immediately. Dezaemon is actually a video game maker tool, basically. Oh, it'd be cool if you did send me that. I'd love to take a look at that. But Dezaemon has been around since the NES. It was on the N64. I believe there was a Saturn game. There was two on the PlayStation 1, and then the series kind of just disappeared. These are pre-made games. Again, this is basically a game where you design your own games, and you put them on your memory card and you give them to friends to play. But these ones are pre-made to show you what you can do with the tools. The thing that makes this one interesting compared to the other Dezaemon games is it's in 3D. It uses 3D models, which I think the Saturn might also do, but this one also has different viewpoints. Like, you can make it vertical or horizontal. Most of the time, these games are only vertical scrolling. So to have horizontal stuff is quite cool. Also, this is a really kick-ass launch segment. This is a game I've wanted for a very long time. I've tried to buy it a couple times, but it does go up in price a fair bit. I would be curious to try and get another copy of, to try and get a copy of this. But this is a game that you could make if you had this. Okay, so it's hold down and let go, I think. I want the J. But this is just tools to make a game exactly like this. If you wanted to do something like this, all it would take is an N64 and this cartridge. If this is anything like the other Dezaemon game I've played, there is one problem with it. And that is that, and from what I remember, at least from the one I played on the PlayStation, you couldn't really edit your bullet patterns or anything. You were kind of stuck with the same weapon types for pretty much every game, which was a little bit bland, but otherwise it's a very, very cool game. And someone just used the tools of this game to make this, to show you what you could do with it. You know, I think it's really quite cool. Oh, hey, there's a speed power. Yeah, this just looks quite good. Plays quite nicely. I'm awful at shooters, of course, but wow, there's no invulnerability for this. If you're interested in Dezaemon, I will tell you right now that there's two that you can get on PSN for like $5 each. They're those weird like PlayStation 1 titles that for some reason got put into North American PSN. And one of them is really quite remarkable. It's the one I've got called Dezaemon Kids. And that's remarkable because when that released, it came with a second disc that had about 100 pre-made games on it. And, of course, the digital download actually comes with that as well, so you can play about 100 different shmups. On top of, the actual video game development tool that it was designed to be. But, I find it quite fascinating that this entire series has been around effectively since the NES. The NES version is actually quite interesting too because it came in like this giant ass cartridge that looks so much bigger than any like Famicom cart you've ever seen. This entire series is very, very noteworthy, and yet I think it's pretty obscure. Like, I think even in Japan it wasn't like the most well-received or, well-known game. But I think it's quite a remarkable little series all the same. And you know, we've got a whole second game to play once we die in this, too. But someone just did this with the tools in the thing. And I think that's pretty astounding. I mean, in a sense, it's kind of exactly like Little Big Planet. You know, the entire game was based with made with the exact same tools that you could theoretically have at your disposal. Except with Little Big Planet, it took forever to take part in the tutorial, and you remembered none of it. And I can say that because I tried to build a game in Little Big Planet. Little Big Planet had the worst, like, maker system I think I've ever played in a maker game. And, you know, as much as I dislike maker games, I think stuff like Dezaemon kind of gets a pass because, you know, this was before the internet. This was before, you know, you could flood the entire thing with, you know, all this half-baked stuff. You actually had to work hard and make something interesting, you know? No, I want to play the other game. Escape. Yes. There we go. I'm not sure how that menu works exactly. Options. Hey, we can modify the level and stuff. That's cool. So let's try Usagi-chi. Usagi means rabbit, by the way. Captain Deza Produce. ROM 1. We're opening it like an actual arcade board. That's pretty cool. But yeah, you could put your own sound effects, you could modify the music, you could come up with your own songs in these games too. Everything was basically user-created. And, well, certainly a lot of the stuff ends up feeling kind of samey because, of course, you know, you can't make everything entirely bespoke or it becomes basically unwieldy for an average person to just make anything with. That's a neat effect. Also, it's a great bunny face. That's someone's avatar somewhere. It better be. It's just someone sweeping the steps, and there's just random anime girls. I think that was Yoko from good old Goin. About, you know, 10 years before Goin. Also, it's the Flutter. This game is quite cute. But, you know, you could basically make any kind of shmup with this stuff. And I think that makes this a pretty remarkable little N64 game, because I don't really think there was anything quite like this. There wasn't really any maker games like that on the N64 otherwise. I mean, hell, in general, maker games weren't really common before the internet, and I would argue they're not terribly common now, but... Huh. Neat. Oh, now we're going to a side-scrolling segment. That's the other kind of scrolling. Don't get eaten by the shark bunny. I think those are the two bunnies we just knocked into the drink. Little octo robots. They look like something Tron Bon would have designed. This game is quite cool. Like, it's not the most exciting shooter I've ever played, but, you know, I think it's really neat. That's just background filigree, too. Avoid the ice cubes. Oh. Oh. Ah. Game over. Still, that was rather delightful. I liked that game. I would like to get a physical copy of that for sure. Alright. Next we have... Ooh! I like this game. This is still probably my favorite kart racer. Well, this or Double Dash. But I don't have a copy of Double Dash, and I probably won't get one anytime soon because it's really expensive. This is Diddy Kong Racing, a racing game by Rare. And it featured Conker and Banjo well before they got their own games. And it's just in general one of the nicest kart racers I think I've ever played. I play as Banjo because I like Banjo. Those Banjo games are quite nice. And it was an adventure game. Oh, I can just hold that. Alright, good. We must watch this story and learn how we must defeat the evil, oppressive whiz pig. The pig that is always taking a whiz. You know, the funny thing about this game is it's not even Diddy Kong's game. It's Timber the Tiger's game, and yet no one's ever heard of him or seen him since. But he's supposed to be the protagonist. The story is his parents who own this island are off on vacation, so he wanted to have his friends over. And the evil wizard pig that's like their neighbor just started causing havoc. That's the plot of this game. And yet no one ever plays as Timber the Tiger. No one remembers him. He wasn't included in anything else. I'm pretty sure Tip Top was, though. Yeah, he was in Banjo. Yes, you are. Luck is not helpful, Genie of the Island. We can't get too angry at Taj, though. Alright. I love this game. This game is so good. Man. Weirdly enough, despite the fact, and this further proves the point, Diddy Kong is hardly the protagonist of this game. There's no other Kongs in this game. This is a game that Diddy Kong is like the only Kong in. He's the only connection to Donkey Kong in any way, shape, or form. The entire Kong mythos has nothing to do with this game. Alright. Kart racing. Also, there's a key over here. So we're gonna go slow and try and get it. I'm inept at driving. Yay. I want to restart. I've earned the right to restart. I want that key, damn it. If you've never played this game, that key opens up bonus stuff. And I didn't get the boost this time. Also, we need bananas because they make you faster. Okay, let's try this again. Very slowly. These things have very sensitive hitboxes. There we go. Oh, I have to say, like, I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'm not using a standard N64 controller. This feels so smooth on my sort of knockoff GameCube controller I'm using for this. This is just so much better to control on this thing. Also, you can upgrade your weapons and stuff by picking up the same balloons over and over again. This game is just so good. It's like one of the goodest things on the N64. Oh, screw you, Diddy. I think we have to come in first if we want to keep that key, so we better, get out of there, Bumper. I believe your name was Bumper. Look, you're not Banjo, I don't care who you are. Retro Fighter? I'm not familiar with that. Although I do like Star Fox. We got a free balloon because we're good. And good things are good, so keep being good. And now the mystery key opens the mystery door of mystery! Oh, the Brawler 64. Yeah, that's the controller I'm using right now, actually. I'm looking forward to doing Star Fox when the time comes, but I gotta say, this is so much smoother on this controller. It is just Alright. By the way, now we're in airplanes, because Diddy Kong wills it. I remember a babysitter I went to, their kid had this game, and he swore that Conker was just straight up the best character. I'm supposed to be able to, like, steal stuff, but I'm inept, and I don't normally play as a plane. But, yeah, your whole goal here is to steal eggs. And then punch Conker in his stupid, smug jerk face. Egg. There we go. I gotta take it back to, or drop it, because I got the wrong button. I gotta say, it's been a while since I played this. Gotta get the controls back in my head. How this game actually works. How do game? I'm gonna get 0 points here. It's gonna be the saddest thing. Meow. Alright, there's one. Oh no. Diddy's gonna win. Unless I do something. Or Conker does a thing. Good job, Conker. You jerk. This was before he had a bad fur day, too. He was just kind of cute guy Conker. There's no eggs in the middle. I need to steal eggs. Egg theft is okay as long as it's in Diddy Kong Racing. That's how that works. It's just like the law and stuff. Whoop! But yeah, they reused a lot of voice clips from Banjo. or rather, they reused a lot of Diddy Kong voice clips for Banjo. Oh, you're gonna wish you hadn't done that, Conker. For you see, I'm gonna swipe that egg from you. Actually, I think we've kind of lost it, yeah. Alas, I'm bad at racing. We'll return to lobby. I want to do another race. I love this game, though. This game is so good. Had some fun secrets, had some, like, really, really good stuff. It has, like... The game makes you play through every stage, like, 4 times minimum to get everything, too, and yet it doesn't feel bad to do so. You know, it's just got so many fun stages. Every stage feels unique. Every stage has, like, this really cool theme and feel to it. And, of course, the soundtrack to this game is freaking legendary. I can't remember what the buttons are. But even so, I'm having a blast. And I didn't even need blast processing, although it would have helped, I'm sure. Because everything's better with blast processing. That's just science. Whoop. Man, I am out of practice for Diddy Kong. I used to play this game so goddamn much. It's so good. Whoa. Oh man, Banjo, cutting that corner way too tight. There we go. And the neat thing is, I'm pretty sure that the characters in this game don't actually have, like, rubber banding. Or if it is, it's very fine. If you're just, like, objectively better drivers than your opponent, they tend to kind of stay super far behind you. But of course, that works both ways, you know. If you're significantly worse than your opponent, they're going to be ahead of you forever. And you've got 3 different vehicle types. You've got the plane, you've got the car, you've got a hovercraft, which is the slipperiest thing ever, but... Man, I marvel at how really fun this game still is, and just, you know, how brilliant this game was. And how I still have trouble finding kart racers I think are better than this one, because it's just... it's so good. I want to do one more. And then 20 more. And then the rest of the game. Because it's so fun. Alright, let's do Jungle Falls. And then we'll move on. I don't want to. I want to play more Diddy Kong. I timed that exactly not right. Still got a boost, though. Want that, thank you. Ooh, cut that bridge a little tight. Got a shield. Oh, man. This game didn't reuse, like, any of its music either. Like, every stage had its own theme song, and they are all bangers that are so incredibly memorable. Like, it's hard to try and think of, like, what the best Diddy Kong song really is. Because they were just all so good. But yeah, I'm super far ahead because I'm actually driving this rather cleanly, and they're not rubber banding. I got the star shield. It lasts longer. Get out of the way! Lapped! Suck it, Tip Top. Man, Diddy Kong Racing is so good. That's a strong racer right there. Alright. Next we have Disney's Donald Duck Goin' Quackers. I'm not familiar with this one. What's this one all about? I mean, I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say it's probably a Disney game. It might involve Donald Duck. He might be going Quackers. Just a guess on my part, though. Ooh, an Ubisoft logo. So this is basically exactly going to be Rayman or Tonic Trouble or something. That's not the best thing. I don't know, man. Like, I've heard that, you know, I've heard people say really good things about Rayman 2, but I still hate that game. I can't skip this. I would like to, though. And she's mine. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Snidely Whiplash! Just remember to take your Hawaiian jacket and, you know, your ninja stuff, and you'll be good there, Donald. Oh, man, they really need to make a sequel to that. Donald was a total badass in that game. He was a ninja, and he had a gun. That's really inconvenient. Also, how did Daisy get there? What? Okay. So okay, it's press B instead of A. That's sensible. Alright, let's do it. This reminds me of Crash Bandicoot. Forest Edge. Let's go. This reminds me of Crash Bandicoot. Alright, Donald Bandicoot, let's go. Oh, we got another wiggly television box. Find some superstars. Collect some stuff, and then you'll get some stuff. Got it. Okay. The draw distance in this, not the best. Bonk. Oh. Okay, we got a double jump for some reason. Sure. I mean, I'm not gonna say this is bad, but I'm not going to say this is really doing anything for me. And I mean, I've played Maui Mallard. I know some weird-ass Donald games. There's that weird Donald game on the GameCube that was for some reason based on an Italian comic. Was it PK Out of Shadows? I've heard that one's kind of interesting. I've heard good things about the Genesis treasure hunt game as well with Donald. He gets angry when he has milkshakes because he's lactose intolerant like me. I'm getting more and more respect for Donald, I guess. Quackshot, that was the name of the Mega Drive game. I've tried to get a copy of that several times and haven't had much luck. I've heard good things about Quackshot, though. What exactly does the book do? Well, either way, we got another, time to get angry at another milkshake. You know, like you do. Okay, what do I need to do to make that? I got the cheese. Am I only allowed to grab this if I... Is this saying that this is a teddy bear, but it's ghosted? Or is it saying that this is a thing that would only exist if I had all the teddy bears? You're not being clear, game. Ah. There we go, we got all the teddies. I'm not sure what that does for us, but all the Theodore bears have been rescued. Done. Yep, needed that book. You're very right. Dangerous cliff. How dangerous can it be? I fear we're about to find out. This is, definitely a platformer for the youngins, I think. It's definitely fairly easy. Doesn't really do much for me. I played a lot better Donald games, I think. I'm not saying this is bad, it's just... It feels very... I don't know... standard, I guess would be the best way to describe it. You know, it's not really doing anything beyond what it needs to, you know, be a game. Congratulations. You did it, game. You're a game. That death animation reminds me of Gex. We did not get a checkpoint. Poop. Do we get to keep the teddy bear at least? There doesn't seem to be any, like, particularly hard jumps or anything. And to be fair, this is an early game, so maybe it gets harder, but... Oh, we already picked up the book, so hopefully we got the teddy still. I'm gonna grab that, and then we're gonna go up here. But the level design seems fairly unchallenging. Doesn't seem like there's any really interesting, like, gimmicks or anything to this stage either. Or the game in general, really. Grabbing that. That's 2. Got another Donald head. Bonk. There's not really too much that seems terribly threatening in this game either. Like, the enemies are wielding butterfly nets and stuff, you know? I don't think there's anything about this that screams it's a must-have game for me, certainly. What's... Okay, for some reason we got, like, this weird particle effect for no reason. Okie doke. This just sort of, so far, feels kind of like a knockoff Crash Bandicoot, honestly. And I don't want to be that guy, because I don't like using terms like clones, because it's a very reductive way of thinking, but... I don't know. This really seems kind of unspecial to me. I definitely don't see myself trying to find a copy anytime soon. Unless I find it for like $1 or something. Punch. Grab the milkshake. Get angry again. Book. There we go. Oh, Donald Duck is twerking for some reason. There were stars up here. Lead me to treasure. I do like that smug, sort of self-important look Donald seems to have right there, though. That seems very Donald. I did not find the cheese in this stage, and you know what? I don't care. I'm an explorer. Missing stuff like that messes with my OCD, but I just can't care. Alright. Well, that was certainly a Donald Duck game. I do believe he went Quackers. Alright, so... next is number 4, Disney's Tarzan. I remember renting this once. And honestly, the only thing I remember about it is in the manual, they had a typo. They said the word thungs. And I'm not sure if they meant things or thugs, but it used the term thungs. No, I don't want to erase any of those notes, actually. Not that I'm particularly in love with Iggy's Wrecking Balls or anything. But I guess we'll hang around on here because we just ran into our third duplicate game now. So we could play Goin Quackers again, but I don't see a need to. Let's... character screens. Oh, we can learn all about all the characters. That's okay. Start game. I don't have a rumble pack. Stop bugging me. You know, when I was a kid, when there was a Disney game, it was usually output by Capcom or Virgin. And they were very, very difficult games, from what I remember. Pretty much universally all of them. I remember the Jungle Book game and the Lion King game completely destroying me as a child. And to be fair, I was bad as a child, but you know... Disney games back when I was a kid were just mean, but they made you get good. They taught you that, you know, not everything's handed to you. Oh, cool. I'm actually looking quite forward to giving Sheeran a shot at some point. I haven't even had a chance to put it on here yet, though. No, I might actually have it on here. I'm not sure. I'd have to take a look. But I haven't had a chance to put the translation on yet. I've been dealing with some terrible nonsense with Amazon for the past few days, and I haven't had a chance to actually do anything with anything, really. Fun story, I bought a 3D printer, and first time I tried to turn it on and use it, I ran into the worst thing you could ever run into when you buy a very expensive piece of high-end electronics, and that is the smell of an electrical fire. And I have been going back and forth with their their customer support department forever, and they wouldn't do anything because apparently Amazon sold it to me in a weird way, so I gotta go through Amazon now. And they were making me like mail it back to try and get like a refund so that I can then buy another one because they can't just replace it. And it's been a whole thing. And damn it, I just wanted to 3D print a Christmas present for my brother. That's why I spent so much money on a high-end piece of electronics like that. And I just can't do it. I think that was Rosie O'Donnell who played, what's her name? Tur. It's like Kong from Donkey Kong, except more letters, which makes it more obnoxious. I got a picture of a monkey. I think that's my health, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I will say, it's not really clear what you can and can't climb on. It just seems like I'm either guessing, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That monkey tried to clap my butt. Don't clap butts, monkeys. That's not nice. Oh god. I would say it's kind of just a standard tie-in game, really. I would say it's certainly better than that Donald Duck game. But this does just seem like a Disney game where you have to platform and collect things, you know? The standard go-to for when you have a license that you have to tick a box to make a tie-in game for, you know, the first thing they come up with is platformer, because you can just make a bullshit anything platformer and just slap the license on top. Dude, Toy Story 2 was legit. I've said this numerous times, but I didn't have a save pack back in the day. So when I rented Toy Story 2, I had to try and beat it in one sitting. My N64 was on all weekend. And I didn't even get close. The sad thing is, I got to... I think it was probably the final boss. I ended up running into Zurg on an elevator. And I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to hurt him. I don't know if my copy that I rented was bugged or something, but he was, like, literally invincible. And it was sad because I was having so much fun with that game at that point. Toy Story 2 on the N64. Super, super legit game. You know, I like to complain that, you know, after the Super Nintendo game, or licensed tie-in games tended to go downhill and really, really fast. I mean, this isn't terribly great or anything. It's about as standard as you can get. But, you know, Toy Story 2 is absolutely right. That's a good game. I imagine on the PS1 it would be the same game, but it probably looks a little less good, but it sounds a lot better. At least in my experience, that's how PS1 versions of PS2 stuff works. Why does Tarzan have a knife that he doesn't seem to be using? Like, seriously, stop throwing papayas at things' butts and just use your knife. It'll be far more effective a tool. Well, you know, when I'm done Gacha Force or Live Alive or any of the other, like, 3 Let's Plays I'm doing right now, you know, maybe we'll do Toy Story 2. I do have it on this multi-cart. Could be fun to play. I'm certainly nostalgic for it. Also, that's a technical flex right there. There's some, like, Clockwork Knight level camera shifting going on. Good work, Tarzan. How am I supposed to go down there, though? Is there a... Nope, no idea. But yeah, I remember Toy Story 2 being really, really quite good. Actually, it's funny. I've got this really bad Chinese handheld device that does like Mega Drive stuff, and I've been playing the Mega Drive Toy Story 1 game on there, and that's actually quite a good game too. I remember trying to play it when I was a kid and just getting frustrated with it, but you know, playing it on the Mega Drive version on this bad handheld, it's actually a fairly good game too. Bonk. I got the monkey drawing. I don't know what it does, but I got it. Yeah. Okay, I'm pressing left right now. The game will not let me go left. I don't know why it just ate all my inputs and almost basically murdered me. But it did. Okay, we're not really sure where platforms begin and end, and now we're... That was weird, but okay. Oh, hey, that's kind of cool, actually. I only loosely remember the TV show that this was, or the TV show. There was a TV show, I'm sure, but I very vaguely remember the movie this was based off of. I didn't care for it, though. Mental note, you can't Goomba stomp because Tarzan doesn't have Goomba stomping powers. He just has Tarzan powers, whatever they may be. You know, the sad thing is, I think I remember the Tarzan live-action TV show from forever ago better than I remember, like, the movie this is actually based on. I'm not sure if that says anything about the movie or me, but that's how things are. Oh god, the Lion King TV show. Yeah, if I recall, that had Cam Clark as Simba. Good old Max Sterling rocking it up as the Lion King himself. Aw, man. Like every TV, or every Disney movie back in the day, for some reason had like a TV tie-in. It's kind of a weird trend they had going. You know, like, I feel like they didn't need to make a TV show on that. But to be fair, you know, there was a RoboCop cartoon for kids in the 90s, too. And an Alien cartoon for some reason. All of those things not made for kids, and yet somehow got children's cartoons. Whoa! Whoa! Jump, jump, slide, slide. Slide, jump, jump. You know, at least jump, jump, slide, slide gave you warnings for what the hell you were supposed to do. Oh. Oh. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do to avoid some of this stuff. Interesting technical flex that it did that, but, you know. Again, wouldn't consider that necessarily good. Well, we've gone through about a third of the stages. Let's do one more. And then I think that'll be it for this time. The Elephant Hair Dare from their derriere. Okay, like seriously, why do you have a knife if you're not going to use it, Tarzan? Start shivving things, or else this is going to be real boring. Oh god, please stop talking, Tarzan. You're not making it better. Run, 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 run. You're an elephant, I'll take your hair, and then I'll win the dare that apparently we're taking part in. But yeah, so far this is a pretty standard platformer. I don't think it's all that interesting. It does have some like neat technical use of camera and three-dimensional movement, but otherwise it's pretty basic. I'd say it's probably a little better than that Donald Duck game, although I think that Donald Duck game was maybe a little bit better put together. Like, just in a technical sense. I feel like the stages were a bit better designed, even if it was a little boring to play. This isn't really much better. Get out of the way, monkey. Woo! Oh man, I'm just thinking about all the bad 3D platformers we're gonna have to play. We're gonna have to play Gex. We're gonna have to play Glover. We're gonna have to play Starshot. Oh god, Starshot. That's a game that makes me want to cry. I think I've played most, if not all, the bad 3D platformers on the N64 at one time or another. The sad thing is I remember kind of liking some of them, at least. But I think I remember playing this and never getting past the first stage just because I got bored with it, honestly. Like, this is not terribly interesting. It just feels like it was, you know, a thing they had to tick off a box as part of a merch push for a movie that probably made a lot more money than the merchandising for it. Because I don't think there was too much success with the Tarzan IP. I could be wrong about that, though. You know, maybe there's a lot of Tarzanites out there who swear by this movie. I mean, I know a lot of people like to talk shit about the Hercules movie, but I kind of liked it. It wasn't great, but I remember thinking it was a fun, goofy time. Says the Tarzan health-o-meter. Hey, twinsies! Yeah, you know, I remember thinking, you know, that Hercules movie wasn't great, but it was kind of a fun, dumb time. I love James Woods as good old Hades. You know, I like the idea of Hades, instead of being like this big, like, deep-talking, menacing figure, being like this fast-talking car salesman kind of guy. You know, I think Hades was the best character in that movie by far. You want to talk about a really bad movie from the time? The Hunchback from Notre Dame was just so bad. If you want to talk about bad Disney movie games, the unofficial Mulan game is special, is probably the best word for it. Absolutely. I frickin' love Hades. He was the best character for sure. A Hunchback had good music, but I think that was about it. I think. Like, if I tried to think of Disney movies I really liked, we'll play one more because now I'm on a Disney kick. Disney movies I really liked, Mulan is a big one for me, and part of that's really just because, first of all, Donny Osmond's "I'll Make a Man Out of You" is like the best pump-up song ever. That's my favorite Disney song by a mile. I remember Emperor's New Groove probably being one of my favorite Disney movies as well. That one's just so good. But you know, if I were to give any credit to Hunchback, Jason Alexander is very, very good. I think the gargoyles were misused in that movie rather badly, and I think the story they tried to tell was just bad and poorly handled. But, you know, Jason Alexander is a treat to see in anything he's ever in. And it had Tony Jay as the evil priest guy, and anything with Tony Jay in it is instantly a classic because Tony Jay is just a magical person who I wish was still with us, because no one sounds like Tony Jay. Like, you can't find anything with Tony Jay kind of sounding voice out there. You know, I never saw Atlantis, and every time I think of Atlantis, similar to like Treasure Planet, I just think immediately of Titan AE, because I've never seen Atlantis, and I've never seen Treasure Planet, but I've seen Titan AE, and I like that movie a lot. Yeah, I heard they lost a lot of money on Atlantis too, which is unfortunate. Because I heard good things about it, but I've just never seen it. Disney. They make some weird choices. Ah, you've seen all three. Nice. Then you saw the last thing Don Bluth ever made in film. Don Bluth. He made The Secret of Nim, which is a great film I love. Really, they do have a similar vibe. Okay, well, I feel less bad by lumping them all together then. That's good. Anyway, I think that'll be it for tonight. But would I recommend this cart based on these past 3 games? Well, first of all, Dezaemon is kind of an interesting beast on itself. You could potentially make basically unlimited content, which is just with just thank you, brain, just this game. And the 2 little shmups you get to test are quite cool. I really want to try and get a copy of Dezaemon 3D. I want to get copies of pretty much every Dezaemon game, because just how weird a game it is, and how interesting it is. And I kind of want to get a deeper read into just how different each iteration is. I really have a fascination with the Dezaemon games. Next is Diddy Kong Racing. This is like the best racing game next to, say, Double Dash. And unfortunately, I don't have Double Dash to compare them. But I love Diddy Kong Racing. I think this is easily the best driving game on the N64. It's quite good. Donald Duck Going Quackers is basically knockoff Crash Bandicoot. Made for babies, basically. I don't think this game is particularly good. I'm not that interested in it. It felt very safe and very plain, and like Disney really just wanted to make a game for kids. And there's nothing wrong with that, but at least where I'm sitting with my game design philosophies, if you're gonna make a game for kids, you still have to make a game that challenges them, either the way they think or the way they act, or their reaction speeds or problem solving abilities. There's a lot of ways you can challenge your audience, and this game doesn't seem to really do any of those. And Tarzan really does feel like it was just created to tick a box for a merch push for a movie. And I know that's a very cynical way of looking at it, but it's also a very bland game. Next game would be Donald Duck Going Quackers, but we've already played that. So next time, you'll have to join me. We're going to play Donkey Kong 64, which I've actually played on this stream several times. That's going to be good, but it's also going to be a very, very collectathon-y, backtracky thing. But anyway, based on these past 5 games, would I recommend it? Yes, because Dezaemon and Diddy Kong Racing are awesome. Donald Duck might be okay for kids. Tarzan, not really, but the first 2 are awesome things that I think knock it out of the park for sure. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, follow the stream to know we go live, because we try and stream as often as possible. Getting back into sort of daily streams. Now that I'm almost on my PS2 video, just got to grab a couple more songs to put in the background for that. So that should be done in a week or 2, so look forward to that. You might also want to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel, see everything else I do, which includes soon to be a 4-hour PS2 collection video, so look forward to that. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon. Support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my ability, which in this case is play some mediocre Disney crap, some awesome rare stuff, and a very interesting Japanese exclusive video game creator tool. Seriously, Dezaemon. Very, very interesting. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, Internet.